She's feisty, she's funny, and she tells it like it is. Get ready for Empower Readings with Corbie Mitleid. What are your opportunities right now? What are the possibilities? Ask Corbie and cross the bridge from fear to fearlessness and fly. Here's your host, Corbie Mitleid.
Hello there from the slightly frosty upstate New York region. We had our first real September fog this morning, and the grass looked a little silver, and the temperature was down to 34 when I woke up. It was just amazing. But this is the time of year that I love, when the trees turn and the air is a little crisp, and you're getting all that jazzy fall energy. So I couldn't think of anybody that I would rather have on to help us figure out how to haul in fall than the fabulous and wonderful Sharita Star. Sharita is a lexigramist. She is an astrologer. She's a numerologist. She's a book author. She absolutely rocks an audience when we do galleries together. And I'm so lucky to have her. Girlfriend, welcome back.
Thank you, honey. How are you?
I'm great.
That's like just so sweet of you to say all those wonderful things. And I give it all right back to you in a great attitude of gratitude.
You're welcome. We're also each other's cat aunts. So, you have that whole furry thing going.
We got the Mew thing going on.
Yes, the nephews.
It's my new nickname for my boys. I call them the Mews. That's their names. Have names, but I don't call them their names all the time.
So talk to me. I mean, fall, we always used to get really excited about fall. We'd be starting school. We'd have the new backpack or book bag. We'd have the new clothes. We'd have the kids in the new classes. And there was always this yummy excitement that adults miss unless they are really tuned in to what seasons are about. So what do we need to do to really get things crispy like the leaves?
Well, when you're stepping into fall, it's funny too, because, after it's Labor Day, everybody thinks summer is over. And, I, as an astrologer, I have to stick to my guns and I have to stick to my math. And it isn't until this coming Saturday that it is officially the end of summer. So even as we go back to school in early September, we're actually in a sign of Virgo. Which is the sign that loves to study things and analyze and get the details straight. And it loves to return to routine. So we actually go back to school under Virgo energy, which is kind of interesting. And now that we're going to step into this autumn equinox thing, of course, we are equal daylight, equal nighttime, which is like, I think for me, that's the only sad thing. I love the daylight more than I like all that nighttime. But what you want to do when you're looking at fall, and if you have your birth chart, or even if you understand collectively how your birth chart works, you want to take that Libra piece all the way through. You want to go through Libra, through Scorpio, through Sagittarius, because these are the three signs that are engaging us into fall. And we always, when we have a sign, actually, a season switch, we are always going to have a cardinal sign do that for us. The leadership sign is what leads us into another season. When we entered summer 3 months ago, this cardinal sign of Cancer did that for us. But now we're going to have Libra do that. And of course, being guided by Venus as Libra is, she likes her pictures pretty, which I believe is why the fall gets very, it gets very gorgeous in the fall. It's like I always say, Mother Nature gets out her paintbrush, and off we're running. And I do love that we have, the equinox starts, the autumn equinox starts on the sign that is the scales. That's Libra. Everything's about equality in Libra. Like they have to have it like even tone or it doesn't work. Mm-hmm. As we move forward into fall, Scorpio, the organizer sign, deepens us into fall. It's, Scorpio is, it's fixed water energy. They're a water sign. So, it gets a little colder and guided by Pluto, it's the sign of transformation. And we really see the fall go through its heaviest period of transformation at that point towards late October and throughout, almost up to Thanksgiving. And then we step into Sagittarius, which is a mutable sign, which says every time we have a mutable sign, it's like, oh, change is going to be coming. And we're already feeling like it's heading towards winter. Even when we step into Sagittarius, we kind of know it's around the corner in 4 weeks. So Sagittarius, of course, Sagittarius is the sign of giving. It's the sign of generosity. It's the sign of, it's Jupiter, it's jovial. We start our holidays. We start the holiday season. We overeat on Thanksgiving under Sagittarius. And then we start buying up like a banshee for Christmas, which will be on the way. And Christmas actually is celebrated in winter, but it's only winter like for about 4 days before Christmas. So that's like kind of a take through your season. So if you know your chart, what you want to do is now you're going to see the sun be passing through these 3 signs in your life over the next 3 months. And it's going to start with Libra, move on to Scorpio, and then conclude with Sagittarius. And that will be your fall portion of your zodiac pie. You also have a lot of your inner planets in all of these signs as well. They're all varying at their different levels with Venus and Mercury. And of course, we'll have a lot of new moons and full moons. We have a Mercury retrograde coming up in November. This is going to be fun for everybody.
Oh, please tell me it'll be better than the last.
well, Corbie, let me just phrase it to you this. Let me just put this one out there. It starts on election day. Can you say recount?
Oh, so what? It's going to be the Chads again, etc.?
I don't know. My guess is we won't know who's president until like a couple days later. I don't know. I mean, I think it's and what's trippier about it is that, Mercury, little buzz boy he is, Mercury's going to get all the way up to the 4th degree of Sagittarius before he starts to go retrograde on November 6th. So it's really going to be hilarious because, when you have Mercury starting to retrograde in a mutable sign, things are more off-kilter than they are under, oh my God. To me, the Mercury retrograde under a cardinal sign is nutty. So, it's, I have a feeling it's going to be quite interesting what you're going to see happen with the fantastic politics. I always try to stay out of politics, but people ask me to tell me what people's names say. So, I have to go there sometimes. But in any case, it's going to be an interesting time. But the Mercury retrograde, aside from it starting on election day, this is going to run from 6th of November all the way through to the 26th of November. So pretty much all of November is encapsulated in Mercury retrograde, the approach and the shadow. So November is quite the month of change. There'll be a lot of stuff happening and going on. By the time we reach, by the time that Mercury, while retrograding, reaches, it's right around the 14th of November, it's going to go back into Scorpio. So from the 14th of November through the 26th of November is when you're going to see the Scorpio energy start to change. But the Mercury is going to start off in that Sagittarian, beginning of the Sagittarian area of the life, and then it pops back into Scorpio. And especially when we get into Scorpio, it's going to be a lot of transformation. Another fun thing that happens this fall on October 5th is one of our major planets, and the one who is a karmic boy up there is Mr. Saturn. And he is going to enter Scorpio. Now, Saturn has not entered another sign in the last couple of years. He's been in Libra since the fall of 2010. So this has been Saturn doesn't take like a little bit of time to get through a sign. He takes a couple of years. He's slow and methodical, like he does everything in your life. Wherever he is in your chart, he wants you to do the same exact thing. And wherever he is currently transiting in the zodiac is an area of the life that you tend to see a bit of a slowdown. The energy gets a little, and I don't mean retarded in the negative sense. I mean, it's on a retard. It's like, it just seems like it's patiently waiting to do something, it's like or that you're kind of going over again. Maybe it's one step forward and two steps back a lot in this area of the life, while Saturn is visiting there. And Libras in general have been feeling this in the last couple of years, for the most part. But what it has done, it has patiently brought in the learning from the experience. And if everyone who is a Libra out there took that into consideration, and wherever Libra sits in your chart is, of course, where this same energy is happening, and no matter what sign in the zodiac you are. If you've looked at Saturn's experience here and learned from it, and taken responsibility, found some stability, so on and so forth, it's a rewarding experience, because now you've done all the homework, so that as Saturn's moving forward, you're going to start to see some actual reward show up in this area of the life. So, everybody gives Saturn, wherever he is, the doom and the gloom. But I always say, if you didn't have somebody teaching you responsibility, how would you ever do anything right?
Got it. All right. Now, we've had one call. Linda, if you're listening, please call back. This is Linda from London, Ontario. She's a good friend of mine, and I think that you guys would have a great time. In the meantime, we got a couple of things. I'd like to know personally.
Yeah.
I'm going to be performing a wedding this coming Sunday.
You mean as in the 23rd?
Yes. I get to be the officiant and hitch these two people. Their names are Crystal and Dan. And theirs is a story like mine and Carl's, in that it's just such a good fit that everybody looks and says, of course. So what do you see for them in the marriage if they're getting married on 9/23?
Oh, I love it. They're going to do a lot of traveling. I don't know what kind of travel bugs they are, but the 23rd is they will travel well together as a couple. The marriage is very blessed. It's guided by the karmic path of the Royal Star of the Lion. They, no matter what happens, they've got this they've got oodles of angels around them. But they're a very communicating couple together as a unit, or at least as far as the date of this marriage is, being initiated on. They're also going to be married under a Capricorn moon, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, they are. So the marriage will have, they will feel very responsible to this marriage. Of course, the sun will have just entered Libra. And it follows the marriage has a life path of the 19, which is the Prince of Heaven. It is quite blessed. And they're not getting married under Mercury retrograde nor a Venus retrograde. And they're getting married under a waxing moon phase, which means the moon is gaining in the light, which is an auspicious time to initiate anything in life that you wish to have last a long time. So I give them my kudos, thumbs up, that it all should go very well. I do not know their sun signs or any of the rest of that fun little tidbits to get in there. But the date itself, very, very nice. Very nice.
Okay. Now let's move ahead or back 10 years, and you've got me and my wonderful man. We got married 10 years ago on October 19th, and you've done our charts, so you know our birthdays and all of that. You've got the backstory. Did we do the smart thing? I mean, it's lasted for 10 years. That's something, but we got another 20 in there?
Oh, I think so. What's interesting, the life path of Crystal and Dan's marriage is the karmic path of yours, which is the most blessed number according to the Chaldeans, which is the 19th, which represents this concept called the Prince of Heaven. You guys have a thing where you like to initiate things together. You like to work very well as a unit. There's a creative energy behind the marriage. Mm-hmm. And if you give me a second...
Sure.
I'm going to just look you guys right up because I am curious to see what city was the marriage in?
Cherry Hill, New Jersey,
Cherry
at the
Hill.
family manse.
Oh my goodness, that's awesome. And was what was the time?
The time was, I believe, 2 p.m.
Okay. Then we're gonna get like the real deal here. Let me see this.
For the
also,
audience, what was that?
About your marriage is that you are following a 6 life path. That marriage follows it. When you add it all together, it is the Magician, which is very, very blessed for a marriage life path. So it's always like the two of you don't have much potential to argue. It's fairly solid that way. Oh, I do love it. Yeah, you had a Leo moon that day, so that goes quite well with having that initiation on the 19th. You guys also have a little itch to travel. Are you like? Do you guys travel together?
No, because I'm the one who's always on the road, and when we have vacation time, I just want to stay put. But when we do travel, we find lots of interesting things to do together.
Yes, and you should. I mean, I would say, and maybe it won't. I mean, to do I can do a full marriage thing like a person. You can see the whole how it'll pan out, which I can't do in 5 minutes here. But
just don't tell me I'm supposed to have kids. That is so not happening. Not at 57.
No, I don't see that there at all.
Thank you.
No. Hot and sexy, it's a little hot and sexy, but it's interesting. There's the Gemini energy in the House of Love Affairs. So it's kind of like you guys actually are very stimulated intellectually with each other in the marriage.
Yes.
More so than a lot of other ways. And this works. It works for you. I would say the more you guys travel together, you guys will you feel more love in the relationship the more you travel. So I think, as time will go on, you will get to that,
I keep telling him when he wants to hire, retire as a museum director, he has to get a big RV and he can drive me around to all my gigs and be my stage manager. So we're talking that as long as we can bring the cats.
I can totally see that. That would be just totally stellar. It would be totally stellar for you guys to do that. I would be in for it. I'd be in with that. Yeah.
Okay.
No, the marriage has a lot of devotion and loyalty to it with the numbers I see in it as well. It's like, there's no ever anybody else coming into the picture. Loyalty to a fault, I mean, that Leo moon there totally says the same exact thing. So you guys are good.
Yeah, we're happy.
Yeah.
So, all right, there we have an in quick from San Diego.
Okay,
and this is Robin. Robin's birthday is June 11th. She is finally empty nesting. Her daughter has gone off to grad school. And so all of a sudden, Robin is finding out who Robin is again. What's the best way for her to do that?
I bet she is. Oh, Geminis are having a blast this year. They are. Well, Robin, you are in what we call you're in a master number year cycle this year of the 22. You're in the 4th year of a 9-year span of time. But this year in particular is a master number energy for you, which means that there's this foundation that you're going to put into final place this year. And you're in the process of doing this right now. You're about a third way through your year. And the remaining 2/3, you're going to keep building this 4th wall. You've got 3 walls up already. Go back to 2009. It was a year of new beginnings for you. That's when you saw these new seeds be planted in your life. And then what you saw leave, FYI, in 2008, it closed off your last 9-year cycle. So that it was all giving you space for what showed up anew in 2009. So, when you kind of look at how those 2 years, 08 to 09, quite transformational. But you've been building a new foundation in your life ever since 2009. The second wall went up in 2010. Bit of an emotional time. Things that showed up there was meant to be. But it taught you a lot that you needed to know about yourself emotionally. Also met some interesting soulmates that year. Last year was lifted a lot of things. You were very busy, had a lot of activity going on. It was a re-education process in your life. Now this is the year where you're planting the roots as solid as you possibly can. Next year, when you step into, you're going to get a little taste in October of all the changes coming in 2013 for you. October and January are busy in how this foundation is going to get rock solid in place. It's like the roots are getting under the ground. And then things really springboard in 2013. You've also got this wonderful, you're a Gemini, you got this wonderful transit of Jupiter in your sun sign right now. So there's a lot of positive energy around you. Your whole sense of I am is going through like a renovation. And it's like the more you can grab onto the concepts of the glass is half full, it's not half empty, and all of your approaches, how the world sees you, your first impressions, that mask you wear to the world, just amazing. And when you go into 2013, that Jupiter is going to enter your house of earning power. So that means some really nice blessings are coming that way. And it's probably a lot about what the changes are coming for you with the movement, because you got a lot of movement coming in 2013 in your life. Everything's going to be blossoming. And then you're going to be writing out the next, this is like the midway point here coming up in 2013. Of your current 9-year span of time, which will end 2013, 14, 15, 16, 17. 2017, you'll wrap everything up. Your big harvest comes in 2016 of everything you've been working towards.
Phew! Good going on that.
And, yeah, I was like, am I going to come up for air? I was wondering if I was going to take a break.
All right. Listen, we had a couple of people send me notes. We're calling them in-quicks, like on Allie's show. But if you have a question for us, you can go to my Facebook page, Corbie Mitleid, or Fire Through Spirit, whichever one is yours, and you will see me, and you can send me a note. If you have a quick question for Sharita, all we need is your first name and your month and day of birth, and we will do our best to get these on the air. And if you'd like to call in, the number is 248-809-3475. We are here with the fabulous Sharita Star. We're looking at what the fall holds for you, me, and the world. Sharita, where are people going to find you after the show, please?
Oh, that would be at www.sharitastar.com.
And you really want to get in touch with Sharita. I'm very picky about people that I will allow to read me. And she is always on the money, on the mark, detailed, and not full of a lot of wiki-woo. She will answer questions. She, like me, is a practical professional. So you are listening to Empower Readings with Corbie. Oh, quit laughing. You are listening to Empower Readings with Corbie Mitleid. If you have never been one of our audience people before, boy, have you missed a lot. You want to go onto iTunes, and you can find me under Corbie Mitleid, Mitleid, and you'll find downloads of all the wonderful shows that we have been doing now for over a year. You'll find other things from Sharita. You'll find our past life party. You'll find open mic night and a lot of very, very special guests because, guys, I am really picky about who gets to share the microphone with me. So, again, it's going to be 248-809-3475. That's 248-809-3475. We want your calls. We want your questions. And we will play with you on the other side of the commercials. I have to hear my cat magnet. Hit it, Steve.
Welcome back to Empower Readings with Corbie Mitleid. Your calls are next at 248-809-3475. 248-809-3475. 888-866-3475. Empower Readings on Empower Radio, empowerradio.com.
And welcome back. That, by the way, is part of the new music we're going to be doing. As I told Brent from day one, urban is not me. That happens to be some fabulous, fabulous music by the Buffalo area band Stone Row. If you are in Western New York, run, do not walk to see these people. They are fabulous. We are with Sharita Star, lexigramist, numerologist, astrologer, and we are looking at fall energy and your own energies. And thank you for indulging me with a cat magnet thing, Sharita. That's our trademark commercial here, and I use it to threaten my children when they don't act very well. I'll get a cat magnet on them. You may want to use it for hocus and pocus. So
they need some help right about now, trust me.
All right, so we got one from Lori. Lori is going through some real heavy changes right now in all areas of her life. Lauri, and she is June 10th.
Okay, let's see. Oh, so you didn't give me that. We didn't have that before.
No, she just sent me a note on Facebook.
June 10th?
Yeah.
June 10th. Okay.
Right next door to Robin.
Two. Just came out of a very heavy personal year, back in around your birthday. Gemini's, I mean, here's what's interesting, the optimistic and the quantum way of saying, okay, the positive things of what can happen are because Jupiter's in your sign. Now, I've also seen a lot of Geminis this year going through some wow, because Jupiter also is the planet of expansion. It makes whatever is going on all the more intense. So if there's something, that comes up and you want to react to it, it can be explosive, the reaction that can happen. But if you want to respond to it, there's going to be your difference in the outcomes that you see. Geminis have a lot of, in general, you also had, back in June, just before your birthday, you had a nice solar eclipse in your sign. You also had the Venus-Sun alignment in your sign earlier in the year. So for a Gemini, there's just a lot of new things coming. And if you're in any kind of resistance to letting go of the past right now, that is where you're getting tripped up. A Gemini born to the 10th of June has this interesting karmic path, and it's called the Wheel of Fortune. And it always states about having, in order to have dominion in your life, you must have discipline. So if you have no discipline in your life, you don't get dominion. It is a magical numerical formula. But the power of 10 also has this other little code in it called, if you imagine, you can ordain it. It's up to you. What are you allowing your head to believe or not believe? Last year was heavy. I will say that. There was a lot of emotional stuff that more than likely came up in your life in 2011 throughout your birthday this year. Home, family, some sort of paternal figure, something dealing with that kind of environment in your life. What you had to step up and do or be a part of it or whatever it is that happened, that's part of your soul's development. Now, you've had a lot of new beginnings that started in your life in 2010. And it seemed like even last year you got distracted from that. Remember what you planted back in 2010, because this is the year in your life. Again, you're about a third way through your year. You are starting to see the growth from those seeds because you actually watered them through the soul's process last year. So all that emotional stuff that happened, it's okay. Because that is, you can't get a seed to grow without water. And human beings don't get their seed to grow without going through some sort of sense of an emotional time. And it doesn't, we have to be AWOL with our emotions, but if we go through a time where we have to go through some grief or we have to go through something like that, it actually is doing something, even though we don't think in the moment that it is. This is a year where your optimism is really meant to shine. It's a time where you're supposed to kind of feel like you're coming out of this heaviness as the months pass, month to month. The intensity of this is, happening here in September. There's some foundation laying being put into place in October. A lot of change is coming, especially under that Mercury retrograde in November. There's a lot of stuff happening November time. You're going to see that majority, your health, your routines. You want things to be kind of revamped, reviewed, reorganized in that area of your life. Your natal chart will tell a lot more to the story, but via the collective for a Gemini, how you serve the world is what's up for grabs under Mercury retrograde, what your health habits are, what do you do for routines, what do you like, what don't you like about that area of your life, get rid of it. And with you in the personal month in November, Lori, of permanent changes, there's a lot of stuff happening in that regards in November. Then you feel a sense of balance come back into play in December. So look forward to that. And you'll have some nice energy up into your 7th house a little bit, your collective 7th house. And that should smooth things out a little bit. So you're not feeling like, but this year is meant to bring, as it comes in, a process of re-education in your life, a lot of exploration, and those seeds you planted 2 years ago to grow. Think about what they are.
Okay. We actually have a call, and this is someone who desperately wanted a reading last week, but we just didn't have time for her. So I want to make sure we get her on now. Christina, are you there?
Hi, how are you?
Oh, you absolutely wonderful woman. Thank you for being so persistent.
Thank you for taking my call.
You are welcome. So what can Sharita and or I do for you this evening?
Okay, I'm wondering what is going on with my career and relationships. It just feels like they are not going anywhere at all, and I don't know what to do anymore or where to go from here.
Okay. Sharita, you take it first, then I want to do some specific career stuff with her.
Perfect. And Christina, a day and month of birth, please, and hello.
My birthday is May 1st, 1987.
May 1st. Okay. All right, my dear. You are in that cooperative energy. I was just talking to Lori about that. Lori is over. She's through that passage of time. You in it now.
Okay.
You planted a lot of seeds in your life in 2011, but this is the year where you're in that emotional balancing energy. You're in a very cooperative space. You're meant to be spending time with people that are going to help you with that emotional process. Now, if relationships are showing up in your life this year and they're not on the right kilter, this is the year that will probably get rid of them. If they don't belong in your life, will probably go. For a Taurus, what's coming up in November with that infamous Mercury retrograde is that for the majority of it after the 14th of November is going to be in your relationship house. So November is really going to bring in this sense of let's review, redo here. You're probably going to see some stuff, traipsing through October leading up to this, but the laundry comes out to dry in November. If that makes sense. I could have said something else, but I don't want to go there. So I had to rephrase my thought. And you have a lot of changes that you're going to be making in your life in regards to what all this emotional stuff is about for you in December and again in next March. You're going to see that twice.
Okay.
What new seeds did you plant last year in your life? Did you plant some new seeds?
Last year, my ex-boyfriend broke up with me, and I just tried to move on from that and apply to different jobs. So that was basically last year.
Okay. And now you're still looking for a job. You're still looking for something.
Yeah.
Well, your earning power has got the potential to get some really good stuff coming in there. And the year is not over with for that. By the time I would say for you, if something's not coming your way career-wise by like not December even, more like January into February is when I think you're going to get word about this, and totally be moving forward. And March you should be in place with something by March.
Okay.
I would definitely say that. And right now is a really good time for you to really think about, and maybe write some things down as well. Think about what it is you're meant to be of service doing. What is it how do you want it to look? How do you want the picture to look? Because you got a lot of energy right now happening in your area of health routines. What do you do for work? What do you do to help the people in the world? And after the 13th of October, you got a new moon in that area of the life. So I would say there's definitely something new coming. If you don't have it all locked down into place by next March, I'm highly surprised, but you may be getting some very interesting words about things as well in October.
Okay.
What is Corbie? How does that sound?
Okay. Christina, let me ask you this. What did you do before? What's your career background?
My career background, I majored in theater, and I ended up writing for magazines, and I never got out of being an intern. It's very hard to get out of the internship area into an assistant position or anything out of that.
Baby, I so know. I was a theater major at Brown. I did the New York thing. Yeah, got it. Now, are you calling from Manhattan or what?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. So, do you want to stay with the acting? Do you want to go with the writing? Do you want to go with something else?
I was leaning more towards communications, like public relations or writing related, because theater is kind of, I like to be stable.
Okay.
You're
all right.
To be stable. That's very true.
So, all right. So I'm pulling PR. I'm pulling writing. I'm pulling broadcasting. I'm pulling spokesperson, because very often organizations need the face and the voice out there.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. And I'm also going to pull voiceovers, because that is what I ended up doing a lot of in New York. It's not that easy, but it is popular. And, the old expression, she has a face for radio. It doesn't matter what you look like with voiceovers. Now, so let's see what we've got. All right, you said PR. Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles tells me you can make a very comfortable living, but if you go into PR, you are going to be the person who makes sure everybody has everything that they need. You're going to be the den mommy. So I don't know how creative that's going to feel. Writing in general, the Chariot, you're going to be pulled in two different directions. If you start writing short and nonfiction and the pithy articles, all of a sudden there's that novel that's going to grab you. So make sure also that you know what your writing project is and you can focus. You literally put the blinders on. Then we have broadcasting. Knight of Rods. And the Knight of Rods is young, fiery, exciting, and ready to rock and roll. But he can also be a love him and leave him. So I have a feeling if you did broadcasting, you might try it for a few years. You would probably have to go to a smaller market than New York City.
Yeah.
So if you're a desperate Manhattanite, might not work. But if you're willing to move, shot. Okay.
Yeah.
Next one was working as spokesperson. Now it's the Queen of Rods. It's the diva. It's the one who garners the attention. It's the one that is like a sunflower. Everybody turns to her. So I think as a spokesperson, especially for something you really, really believed in, you can do very, very well. What snaps into my mind is Julia Roberts as Erin Brockovich. Not that I'm saying go to law school, but she did not have a law degree, but by God, when she found something that was passionately important to her, she sunk her teeth in it and became famous. And the last was voiceovers. Well, that's what voiceovers. It's the Six of Pentacles. The man is giving out one coin to two hands. It would be nice. Maybe it'll pay the car lease, but it's not going to pay the rent. So none of these are bad. The place that I think you would do best is probably find an organization that wants somebody to be their bullhorn, their voice, their personality out there. And that is what's going to really rock your socks. But remember, you will probably also have to move out of New York City.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've considered almost every single option, even changing career path in general. I thought of real estate. I thought of just changing it. I felt like I wasn't doing anything important with what I was doing. So I'm surprised you mentioned spokesperson, because I get very passionate when I like what I'm speaking for. So, and it's something I never thought of before.
Yep.
You get your heart behind it. You love it. You feel very loyal to it. Yes. You could never sell something you didn't believe in, or that your heart wasn't really behind. You're also a Uber manager, my dear. I mean, you could run the show of anything if you want to. Because Taurus and a 1, that combination career-wise, of course, you know how to plan. You know how to stay in one place and manage and delegate what's going on around you. So anything that allows you to really allow those skills that you have to shine is also great for you. And you need to be on the stage somehow, some way. That's why you went towards the theater. But that doesn't mean you always, you have to be an actress. You can be on stage in life and not be an actress. Trust me.
Yeah.
So you need your stability. A Taurus will never do risky things. They can't. Yeah. They're so upset with risky things. So
I like the
you've got to find,
because I'm creative, but I like
you're very
balance
creative.
also.
Have to learn that too. So don't, settle for something that you at least have to know. I feel creative doing this. It may not be like, being the superstar, but as long as it's accentuating your management skills, your ability to be creative, and to kind of have a little flavor on the stage, even if it's just in front of 10 people, it's something, and it will, it'll satisfy that soul's urge that you have to do that.
Yeah.
So
good stuff.
Cool.
So thank you. I hope that it was worth waiting a whole week for.
Thank you, ladies, so much. You were very helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Welcome. Thank you, Christina.
Okay. Now we did have another Chrissy who sent us in quick, and she is July 2nd. Yeah. She just had a life-changing experience that really opened her up, solidified a lot of things. So how can she take advantage of this energy?
Yes. Of course, she's a Cancer, being born to the 2nd. She's like what I would call a super Cancer. You're a very sensitive person, stellar imagination. You have a very nurturing, you're like the chicken soup for everybody's soul. You want to take care of everyone. But Chrissy, first and foremost, always take care of yourself, because you're no good to anybody else if you constantly take care of other people and don't take care of you first. You can take care of the world if you've done it for yourself. But I can't stress that enough, because I know these types of energies and sometimes that get that over. You overcompensate for others way too much. All those endings you saw in your life, 2007, made space for the new beginnings you saw unfold in 2008. You have built the foundation. This is your year. You are blossoming. Everything's meant to change. You are seeing a lot of life-altering experiences this year. But probably what just happened won't be the last either. When you step into 2013's birthday, you go into this year of harmony. It's the 6, and everything that will have happened folded in the realms of this movement, versatility, everything booming all over the place, will have transpired. A lot of harmony starts coming back into the life, and kind of a sense of more peace, because this year is on the go. It's movement. You're cruising. It's like you got the car in 5th gear all year. You rarely coast. You don't have it in neutral very much, and you're going. You also have Jupiter in the sign of, it's in what we call your inner process house right now in your collective chart, which is saying that you have a lot of benefit that can happen if you spend some time with yourself, a little bit away from all that nurturing things that you have to do all the time. you feel compelled and urged to do, which you should always do. But like I said, this is a year where you can really benefit from the time you spend alone. I don't know if your dreams are popping up pretty prominent for you right now, but you've got a very, very, very powerful dream thing happening right now. And I think you probably dream all the time anyway. But it's really like the messages you're probably getting, even in your daydreams. I mean, and I don't know what an avid daydream you are, but I know your energy is quite imaginative. So you may wander. And the one thing with your energy too, don't worry. When you don't get into the doubt thing, I always say to the word doubt, please do but out bud. That's what doubt spells, do but out bud. So let the worry go. You've got such a great channel of imagination. If you do not have a good channel for it to flow with something creatively, something wherever it's a positive thing, you worry more. You worry when the imagination has nowhere to go. So always like find something that really makes you tick and makes that mind kind of calm down a little bit, because that's what, makes things more stable, more steady. In a 5-year, you're on the go so much that it's like you have to make time for you. You've got to do it. If you don't make time for yourself, you go stir crazy in a year like this, where you feel so restless that you're like a top spinning out of control, and you don't want to do that. So make sure that you do take some downtime. In 2013 as well, you step into your new year. Jupiter goes into your sun sign. So you've got more expansive energy around you, but it's not hiding anymore. It's out on the surface. It's out in the open. All your approaches will have totally changed. Everything looks abundant. It looks good. There should be a lot of nice, peaceful, calming things coming into play by 2013 as you're moving forward. But yes, this is a big year of change, but you're blossoming. Keep remembering everything's about blossoming this year.
That's absolutely on target for Chrissy.
Cool.
So wonderful.
I always say, I'm glad the planets aren't lying to me.
The planets are doing wonderful things.
They're telling me the truth.
All right. Now, this is kind of like going in the back of the curtain and pulling it out. We got about 5 minutes left. I want to quickly do our wonderful engineer, Steve, if Steve can give us his birthday. Steve, what can you tell us? I don't know whether he's going to say something or type it to me on the Skype thing.
My birthday is July 12th, 1986.
He's such a puppy.
Oh, my God. 86?
Oh, we're such old ladies. Okay, so we got like 2 minutes. Give us a 2-minute Steve.
Oh, Steve, you are you just went through this Uber, what I was just talking to Chrissy about, the energy she's in right now. You were in it last year. Major changes in your life, wow. You went into 2011's birthday and you went into this past year's birthday in 2012 and the world looked a lot different for you. But this year is about bringing back the calm. You're feeling more peaceful as the months are unfolding. You're like this wise philosopher and the happy-go-lucky clown wrapped up into one guy. You're a Cancer, also very nurturing, but you like the funny guy. But you're very funny and you're great with communications. You're definitely in the right line of work. I will tell you that. And you're great behind the scenes too. You like being out there, but you're good. You always just have to educate yourself. Never, not that you have to be in school your whole life, but never think you're not the student and you'll always win everything you ever want because you're very generous too. Don't give away to everybody. You give away way too much sometimes. Be careful of that.
So there, now everybody knows my wonderful Sergeant Steve, who has taken over for the late lamented Captain Bob, who has moved on to other things. Sharita, we ran out of time. We always run out of time. We always have more we could talk about. But, we adore you, and you'll be back with us for our winter solstice in December, yes?
I look so forward to that.
And where are people going to find you in the meantime? Give us again.
It'll be so much chillier by then.
Yes.
You can find me on the web. I am at sharitastar.com. And I'm on Facebook. You got Sharita Star Secrets on Facebook. The book is all in the name, and Sharita Star on Facebook. And then I'm Sharita Lexigramist on Facebook because of lack of a better title. They want me to so I'm like, I had to keep it the lexigramist. And it's the one thing I do that nobody else does. So that's why I said, well, let me clarify.
Gotcha. And if you want to find me, Corbie Mitleid, Fire Through Spirit. They're both on Facebook, firethroughspirit.com on the web, revcorbie@gmail.com, and 877-321-Corbie. Next week is going to be our September past life party. So remember, if you've got a past life you want me to look at, a question, a phobia, an obsession, drop me a note on Facebook or at revcorbie.com so that we can see who you were before you were who you are now. So until next week, this has been Empower Radio, Empower Readings with Corbie Mitleid. We will see you in 7 days.